Hello viewers, how are you doing? It's your Uncle Fester. Welcome back to Tank Force, a tank simulation arcade game. It's not a true sim, but it does sort of simulate, but it is an arcade style game. So, what I'm doing today is I'm beginning a look at the tanks in the game. I'm going to compare what you get in the game and give you a little actual history of the same tanks. And today we're going to start with the tank I chose to start out with, the ERC 90 Sagaie. Not sure if I'm saying that right, but I'm not French, so I'm not sure how to pronounce it properly. But anyway, this is a six-wheel tank. And the difference between wheeled and tracked is usually your wheeled vehicles are going to be quicker than your tracked. Now the Sagaie, it is a French-made combination tank, actually, made by Panhard, which is made by Renault Trucks Defense, which is a division of Sweden's Volvo Group. That's its current iteration. That came into effect around October of 2012 when it bought this division from the Citroën Peugeot company. Now, Panhard has been in business for many years, and it has developed quite a good reputation. So they chose to go with the Panhard name over the current owner, which is Overland, who bought the company who bought Citroën in 2005, I believe. Now, in this game, this tank comes with 130 rounds of ammunition. It's a game. In actuality, this tank actually only carries about 20 rounds of ammunition. Now, this particular version of the ERC 90, the Sagaie, does have different iterations of it, or versions of it. Right now I can't think of what those are. I think one is a Lynx. And when they first hit the military, France bought 190 of them. Mexico, right behind them, bought about 120 of them. And the next largest purchase after that was Nigeria, who bought a mere 40 of them. And then there was about 4 other countries who bought various amounts ranging from about 4 to 12 smaller countries. Now the ERC 90 here is equipped with a 90 millimeter smoothbore cannon. It's kind of rated as a armored recon, with its secondary role as being an anti-tank. And with that 90 millimeter smoothbore cannon, it has quite a powerful punch. One of the downsides to this tank, however, is its engine. It's a diesel-powered 4-cylinder that produces about 175 horsepower, which gives it a fairly low power-to-weight ratio. Now, there was another version of the Sagaie that it was slightly larger, and it came with 2 V6 engines. It was built for a private venture, but it was never produced. Now, this tank boasts a crew of 3 persons: the driver, the gunner, and the commander. It's got a curb weight of about 8,100 kilograms and roughly a speed of about 90 kilometers an hour, or about 59 miles per hour. It's got an effective range of about 700 kilometers, running on around 242 liters of fuel. And it is amphibious. Its amphibious speed is roughly, I'm not sure if they listed it as kilometers per hour or knots per hour, but roughly around 4.5 knots per hour by the wheels. It does boast a hydro motor that boosted up to around 8 or 9, I think, kph. And how often it actually goes into that mode, I don't know, but it does have that capability. Now, the Panhard company, it's been around for many years. I believe back in the 1890s, 1892, something like that, they actually produced their first automobile. And it was a venture from the, if I can remember, the Lalo, something, I can't remember. I didn't write it down. I don't remember what it was. Levisalo, Sagaie, something along that lines. But the guy was a friend of Daimler, the Mercedes owner, creator. And he actually was using parts from Daimler to start his car company. And I believe he was a French lawyer back in those days. Now, he died shortly after, just a few years after began the company, and Daimler convinced his widow to carry on with the company, and she eventually married the Levisaya, whatever the guy's name was, and they went on from there. Now, I mean, they had quite a reputation building automobiles, armored vehicles also, but they stopped the automobile production in 1968, I believe, and focused solely on armored vehicles ever since. So that's a little bit of an awkward background, I guess, of the Panhard company and this being one of their main items. But let's take a look at the stats given here for this tank. The ERC 90 Sagaie. Now these numbers in yellow is what I have boosted this tank to in the game. So you just subtract this from this number and you'll get the starting amount. So roughly around 30 degrees per second, I guess, would be the tank turning capability. Its turret speed is 60 degrees per second. It fires 22 rounds per minute. It's rated at speed at 80. Well, it's rated 80 with what I've upgraded it to, so 60 is its start, and 20, that would be about what, 17 rounds, 16 rounds per minute, unboosted. And then around 135, I guess, 130, or around 30 points of damage per shell, and around 20, well, I'm not sure how these numbers are working out because that's not exactly correct, but boosted, these are my numbers on this tank. And it is of course going down the NATO line. The only lines that are available is Russian and NATO. China has not been opened up by the game's developers yet. But yeah, that's your ERC 90. The way it looks in your garage. You do have options. Camouflage, which I've mentioned previously. Your basic camouflage, which anyone can buy, will cost you 3 gold coins for a 12-hour function. It will last for 12 hours, then you have to repurchase again. But it gives you a bonus of 19.5 points of damage for your standard shell, and an additional 24.4 damage for your APCR shells. And like I say, anybody who's got a little bit of gold can buy this ammo. It comes in 3 different colors, which is your basic green and yellow. You got your various browns, earth colors, and then I guess this would be like your snow, your desert, and your forest. Those are your, you can buy, if you have a VIP membership for 12,000 silver, you can buy these different camo patterns, and they last for 2 hours. They give you a little bit more damage per shot. And then for 36 silver as a VIP member, you can buy the white, the black, or the purple, and they all give you a little bit more damage per minute. Then you've got your various decals, which they are all, and this is all you got right here along the bottom. There are no other choices than these, and they all cost 10 apiece, and they all last for 12 hours. It gives you a boost of 1.3 rounds per minute. So, you know, there's a little bit of a bonus there. Then your equipment, you've got your napalm core, which sets foes on fire and takes off 1% of their strength per second. It takes about 30 seconds for cooldown. Then you've got your repair kit, which can fix your problems. It has a cooldown timer of 10 seconds. Your fire extinguisher. Of course, your repair, your fire extinguisher, and your NOS. Well, okay, back that up just a second. The repair kit and the fire extinguisher cost you 750 silver. Your nitrous, it costs you 1,000, and the rounds, the napalm core, gives you it'll cost you 1,500. And I have to buy one of them. Maybe not. But anyway, and the nitrous oxide will increase your tank speed by 50%. And it has a 90-second cooldown. And it only lasts for 20 seconds. But there you go. That's your up to equipment, your arsenal, where you buy your shells. If you go with the first ones, your starting options, they're always free, and then your specialized ammo costs you gold. And then you've got your gear, which all can be bought with gold. But you got armor, gives you plus 478 points, and it's always active. You've got your reinforced chassis, which gives you a turning bonus and a speed bonus. You got your ramming device, which adds an extra 2.5 seconds or 2.5 rounds per minute. You got your reinforced trigger, which stops enemy's tank with 30% probability for 40 seconds, sorry. And all these things are always active. You have your reinforced repair kit, which decreases the duration of negative factors, so it's a little bit better than your standard repair kit. And then if you're a VIP member, you have the ability to buy ricochet armor, which only gives you about a 7% probability of absorbing damage from shells, but it's always active. And then you have your muzzle accelerator, which gives you a 2% chance of destroying an enemy tank with one shot. And as I mentioned in a previous video, these two items are the only items that you can get that would be closely considered as pay to win items. And as you can see, they're not that big of a bonus. There's a small bonus, but is it the only way to get them is to be a VIP player. So anybody who tries to tell you that this game is a pay to win, they're full of crap. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, you can earn gold simply by going up in ranks in the game. And if you remember, and I'll back out and try to show you if it'll let me go through. No, it's not. Now, it's still kind of buggy. Yeah, it's not going to let me in. Anyway, as you do damage in your matches and go up in ranks, you earn gold for every rank that you gain. Now, Ben's is right now there is only tournaments available. You know, it's the possibility is there to earn gold without having to dip into your pocket to buy gold. So anybody that tells you that this is a pay to win game, they're full of crap. It's just not so. At least not right now. And being as how a tournament is the only option open on this game, you know, all you got to do is play the game and do well, and you're going to earn gold. You're going to earn silver regardless. But yeah, this game is not pay to win in its current configuration. So anybody that tries to tell you that it is, they obviously do not know what they're talking about. But anyway, that's been your ERC 90 review, a little more in depth. After I do a little more research, I will bring to you either the BMP-1, which is the first tank in the Russian line, or, as I'm close to buying, the M41DK1, which is the Tier 2 NATO tank, or one of two Tier 2 NATO tanks. So, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button. It sure would help out, and I would appreciate it a lot. And come on back and check out the next video for whatever it may end up being. If you have a preference, whether you want to see the Tier 2 M41DK1 NATO tank, or if you want to see the BMP-1 Russian line tank, let me know in the comment section, and I will do whatever request I get the most of. So until next time, this has been your Uncle Fester with a Tank Force tank review. Y'all take care, and I'll catch you next time. Bye now.